It began, as most unsettling things do, in a city no one remembers visiting. In the spring of 1982, Dr. Halden, a neurobiologist of little consequence, lived alone in a house best described as adequate. He liked boiled eggs. He liked tea. One morning, he cracked an egg and found a perfect miniature of his own home, chipped back window and all. Statistically, the probability of this event occurring is less than 1 in 10 to the power of 178, a number with more zeros than reasons. He did not scream. He did not call anyone. He made tea. This was typical of Halden, neurobiologist by profession, stargazer by habit. A private man, thoughtful, with the calm of someone who lived alone long enough to prefer it. He worked at Novaform Corp., researching brainwave timing and how perception bends around silence. That evening, to clear his mind, he climbed to his attic, where he kept an old telescope and a few star maps. The sky was perfectly clear. And there, near the horizon, was a star he'd never seen before. Bright, still. He made no note of it, just looked. The egg became part of his life. He observed it daily. Under magnification, he confirmed it wasn't just a house, it was his house, and inside it, unmistakably, was himself. Moving through routines he remembered, but had long since stopped thinking about. On the kitchen wall of the tiny replica, he found a calendar. The year was exactly 10 years ago. He began watching nightly, at first out of curiosity, then with quiet purpose. One small detail caught his attention: the kitchen light. Some nights it was on, some nights off. He started logging the pattern: light, no light. Dot, dash, Morse perhaps, a message from the past or to it. Order, hidden in chaos. Message, buried in nonsense. He wasn't sure there was meaning, only that it felt like there ought to be. But Halden made himself a rule: no decoding for 10 years. If the replica was truly 10 years behind, then in time, his miniature self would discover the egg too, and only then, when they were both inside the loop, would the message be ready. The years passed, quietly as they often do. Work continued. Migo the dog got older and slower. Colleagues came and went. A book was outlined but not written. The attic telescope collected dust. The egg, however, remained. And so did the ritual. Each night he checked the light and took his notes. Then, on the 10th year, it happened. The replica Halden, 10 years younger, cracked his own egg. Inside, another house, another Halden. Soon the miniature began taking notes as well. Halden's heart raced. The time had come. He sat at his desk, opened his notes, 10 years of dots and dashes logged without fail. He was calm, focused, a scientist preparing for a result, a man on the edge of understanding. Letter by letter, line by line, he transcribed the code with care, each flicker turned into symbol, each symbol into sound. And then he found nonsense. A jumble of broken letters. It didn't make sense. It didn't mean anything. That night, Halden returned to the attic. He needed the sky, and the stars were there, quiet, ordinary, exactly where they should be. But the bright one from 10 years ago was gone. He waited for it to return. It didn't. He stood there for a long time, unsure what he had expected. No answers came, just the soft sound of wind over the roof. He went back to his life, back to his lab, his notes, the rhythm of ordinary days. He didn't check the egg every night anymore. Just sometimes, out of habit, out of something like care. And when he did, He watched himself. Watching himself. Waiting. Time passed. The miniature Halden, now in his second loop, finished logging his lights. He sat down to decode the pattern. Halden already knew what he would find, and sure enough, the result was the same. A string of broken letters. No message, no meaning. The miniature climbed to the attic. Halden watched him go. Later that night, Halden climbed too. Not out of urgency, not because of the replica, but because he always climbed the attic stairs when the world grew strange. And it had been 20 years, after all. The sky was clear. The stars were there, still unchanging. And then he saw it, the bright one, the one from the very first night, the one that had vanished a decade ago, now returned. You see, Halden thought the message was waiting to be deciphered, and maybe you did too. But the message was never meant to be opened, only repeated. A light per day, a star per decade, a comet once every 1,000 years. This is a language older than memory, and words were never part of it. Not every message is meant to be read. Some are meant to be lived. And somewhere, far above the roofline of your own life, someone is watching your kitchen light blink and taking notes. You, sitting there, watching this story end. You may think you're the reader, but you're not. You're the dot. You're the dash. You were born to send. And the signal continues.